Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. You know, tipped out of work a little early today and stopped at the supermarket. And I was blessed at the supermarket. You know, I was a little grumpy by the end of the day. Some stuff going on. You know, toward the end of the day in my office, it gets pretty hectic because, clients wait till the last minute to come in to avoid counseling. But, there's all other kinds of things that need to happen. Sometimes they need to see the medical staff, or they've been missing for several days and, have to get a new doctor's order. So, like I said, all kinds of craziness just jumps off. So I was a little grumpy and just listening to my peers and contemporaries complain and the stuff that goes on through the day. I was a little battle fatigued by the end of this week, I had a vacation and managed to get a whole weekend without completely just nailing my office door shut. At any rate, like I said, I was blessed when I was at the supermarket today. It started with getting on the elevator, and there was this elderly woman with her caregiver, and she just struck up a conversation. Now, I live in the burbs of the city proper, San Francisco proper, so I don't get a lot of noise and stuff, and it's pretty residential, and not a ton of African Americans in the store. I'm saying all that to say to kind of put a picture of the crowd. So this lady strikes up a conversation. Now, she was barely making it. Her caregiver was walking like a step every, I want to say 2 minutes. She had a cane, so he grabbed a cart and he used that cart as her walker. So she had a little bit more pep in her step. But we get in the elevator, and she tells me she's 94 years old, and, by her speech, I can tell at some point she had a stroke. But she told me she was 94 years old, and I said that was a blessing. Then she asked me if I had my parents, and I said, no, ma'am, So we struck up a conversation, and I said, she was complaining that she's old, and having talked to my mom just before she passed, I came to the realization that most of her friends were gone. So I can understand why this lady feels old and most likely alone. So I said, it's still a blessing not afforded to many people. And, she kind of smiled, and she and her caregiver went on about their business in the store. Then, everybody was a little bit extra friendly. I guess it's because it was a Friday. And I get to another aisle, and there's this another elderly woman, and I mean, she was barely making it. The 94-year-old had more energy than this particular woman. She too had a cane in her cart. And I'm thinking, why is this woman insist on doing her shopping? But, I guess that's what keeps her plugged in, and feeling youthful. But I mean, she was barely making it. And I was in the aisle getting pet treats. And mind you, I don't have any pets, but my upstairs neighbors do. And since my apartment is off the garage, I see a lot of them. So, I like to spoil them too. So, I'm picking out my pet treats, and she's pricing kitty litter. Now, those boxes of kitty litter are pretty large and pretty heavy. And I watched her pause. I said, you need some help? She said, I was wondering how I was going to will this box to jump into my cart. So I helped her put the box in her cart. And then I went on about my business. I thought that was cute. But, as I was in the store, like I said, I went on about my business. And while I was at the checkout, some gentleman got caught shoplifting. And, that's a bad problem here in the city. Now, he and I are the only two African Americans in this store. But the security guard, I believe he was Pakistani. He's just as dark as the two of us, but, he caught him stealing and put him out of the store. Also violated all his rights because it's not stealing until you cross the threshold of that store. But, you know, uh, any security guard that does their job in the city gets applause from me because it's a bad problem. Shoplifting is really bad here. So that went on. But like I said, everybody in the store was just a little extra friendly today, and I like that, being able to go into a supermarket and have a conversation and smile and be, greeted with pleasantries and somebody that's not completely overwhelmed or rude about doing their job. Amen. But as I sat in my car for a few minutes, I just got really emotional because I thought about just how frail my mom was. My sister and I went down to visit my mom, and I want to say late January or early February. She was tiny, and but mom was 83. But she was able to walk, she was getting around, she was able to, carry a conversation, and she was as feisty as ever, you know. And then when I saw her in May, it's like, what happened between those 3 months? She no weight at all. She said she didn't have an appetite. And then the dementia had just basically taken over. So, she had this wild-eyed stare most of the time. And, she would come and go to have conversations, but it was just, man, it was shocking. So, I was just overcome in that thought. But getting back to my shopping experience, I want to say, every so often they have a program and they ask you, do you want to donate or round up your change to the next dollar as a donation, for XYZ. And this month, the woman asked me, do you want to give to the food bank? Now, every year I give to the food bank around the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. I make it a point to give. If I give gifts, I also give donations in the names of the people that I give gifts to, just so you know. But I gave a donation, and it was, like I said, for the food bank. And I thought, what a blessing it is to be able to give so someone can have a meal. Amen. We have a lot of ills in this world, but we have a lot of opportunities to address those ills. So I'm going to challenge everybody that's hearing this to step up. Do what you can when you can, and watch God bless you.